Guys, huge day. Everything is in now for my Audi S3 for the hybrid build. I have everything spread out on my bed in front of me. I'm going to be showing you everything and breaking everything down on what I chose and what the direction of the car is going to be within the next few weeks. Right, guys, so as you can see laid out, I have a bunch of different parts, wires, harnesses all over my bed. Bunch of little bags. There's a bunch of things that I got in the mail. Obviously, the most important thing right here. We'll go over this as well. But, yeah, let me just give you a quick look around, and then we'll explain everything individually and exactly what it is and what it does. I'll start off with the most basic thing, which is the install kit from FCP Euro for the turbo. I have a bunch of different little O-rings, little gaskets that came with the kit just to replace everything that is on the engine and the turbo right now that goes and feeds the turbo, like coolant line O-rings, oil line O-rings. There's a new, right here, gasket for the downpipe to the back of the turbo on the exhaust side, a new downpipe clamp that goes from the downpipe and the back of the turbo as well on the exhaust side, new exhaust manifold gasket. There's a bunch of little things here that is good to do if you're going to be replacing your turbo in your car. I got that from FCP Euro. These two little sensors is where the fun starts. This is the EQT 5-bar map sensor, and this is the EQT 5-bar put sensor. These two sensors is what allows you to run more than 30 pounds of boost when you are doing custom tuning on a bigger turbo or hybrid turbo setup. It is very important. If you keep your OEM map sensor and OEM put sensor in the car, you will not be able to run more than 30 pounds of boost. I believe the stock sensors are good for about 29.5. So these two sensors will easily allow you to run mid-30s to even higher amounts of boost on your setup. Next thing I'm showing you guys is the new intake manifold that I got. Is a Euro intake manifold. It is meant to be used for MPI. The differences between this and what comes in our car stock here in the States is that we already have the nutserts to attach our fuel rail if we're going to be running MPI, and it is already cut out, as you can see here, for the injectors that are going to go in to the fuel rail for the MPI setup, which is super important. The reason why I chose to go with the Euro intake manifold is so that I don't have to cut up my stock one. I could just remove it, and if I ever want to return the car back to stock, I don't have to worry about having like open holes or things like that. I could just sell off this manifold and put on the stock one with no problems. And I'll show you a little later in the video how the MPI and everything bolts up to this, just to give you an idea. But this is a super inexpensive part to get, and it makes it a lot easier just swapping things out. And you already have the nutsers in, and everything is already cut out, so you don't have to worry about plastic shavings. Everything is cut out nice and perfect, as you can see here, where all the injectors are going to go through. And this is what you guys saw in one of my last videos, is the EQT low pressure fuel pump. So I already went over this. This was the first part that I received in the build that I was ordering parts from. So this is just the harness, the wiring harness for the low pressure fuel pump with everything ground, new connector, the actual pump itself, and then the new controller for the fuel pump. This is what's going to allow me to run full E85 on the car, as well as pairing it with the MPI kit. But this brushless pump is good for over 600 horsepower, if I'm not mistaken, which I'm not going to be able to achieve on the setup now. So this is an overkill pump, but it's better to have more fuel than not enough. So I decided to go for their pump, which has been proven to be very stout and very reliable and awesome. So this is where the real fun starts, guys, and this is arguably my favorite mod that I'm going to be doing on the car, and this is the MPI kit from CTS Turbo. I got the black rail, the new harness for the MPI, all the wires. I got it with the 980cc injectors, which is more than enough for what I'm going to be doing with the car, and all the clamps, all the hardware, the sensor, everything is here. Now, I did mention in my last video, guys, that I was going to be receiving a really mildly used setup from the person that I was buying the turbo from, and I'll explain that in a little bit. That actually fell through, but I was able to find another crazy deal that I'll explain again in a little bit that is even better than what I explained in that video. And again, I had to hop on it because it's just something that you cannot pass up the opportunity. So I ended up getting a really, really good deal from CTS. I reached out to somebody over there, I spoke with them, and they hooked me up with an awesome deal on a new kit. And what I like about the CTS kit, which some people might like or what might not like, is that the fuel rail at the end gets capped off. So it's not a pass-through like some other setups like PR. where it goes through. So there's a T. Again, when I install this, I'll basically explain all the setup when installing this, but it's not a pass-through system. It tees off and it retains the regular fuel line, so I'm still able to use my Fuelit ethanol sensor. So for me, it's very beneficial that I don't have to go and get another like E85 sensor for the car. I could just use what I already have in my Audi. But again, this install shouldn't be that difficult, and it's what's going to pair up to the Euro manifold, which is right over there, and it's going to make life so easy being able to run fully 85, full 93, it doesn't matter, and is also going to keep my valves clean, which is super important, so no more carbon buildup, which these motors are super notorious for having. So again, it's super nice, guys. This is really nice. All the good stuff here, guys, and I cannot wait to install this because it's really going to be one of the best mods that this car has. And just to go a bit further, guys, this is the T that's going to come off of the rail. So essentially what I was saying is that right here, they give you a cap for the end that you screw in to the rail. So it blocks out any fuel from coming out the end, and then the feed is going to go from this side, and it tees up to where your high pressure fuel pump is and connects the one line here, and then one fuel line on the bottom, which they actually provide for you right here, so that it goes into the rail. So they give you this right here that feeds into the rail. Again, this all needs to be tightened up properly. I'm just showing you guys for reference. And then this line goes like this to the T. So again, I'll explain this when I'm installing it. And then this fuel rail is going to go right onto the setup right here, which I'm going to put together so you guys can see that as well. Alright guys, and this is just a mock setup of how the rail sits on the manifold. I don't have the injectors in. I don't want to get the injectors dirty or pull them out of the bag for no reason, but the injector will sit in the rail right here and go into the manifold right here. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And the rail sits on the actual manifold right here. That's why it's nice to have the nutsers, because you don't have to go and drill out your own nutser that the kit does come with if you want to do that, and it'll come with the proper size drill bits. But for me, instead of drilling things out, I'd rather just get the new manifold that's meant to already have this on it, and you don't have to drill out anything for the injector. So that's how the rail is going to sit. And like I said, we have the cap off on this line, we have the feed from here from the fuel supply on this side, and then they provide the clamps, fuel line goes here, T goes on the top, and that's essentially what the setup is going to look like in the car. When you're looking from the top, you're going to see the rail and everything nice. And I got the black because it kind of just hides everything and makes everything look super clean. And now we're going to get to the best part, which is going to be the turbo. And guys, last but not least, we have the turbo. And if this focuses, you'll be able to see it. If not, I'm not sure if you can tell, but it says Vortex XL. We got the XL in the mail. And the thing is, from, again, what I said in my previous video, this isn't used. This is a brand new turbo. This thing, again, it's crazy the deals that I have found over the years on some car parts. And some of my personal friends in real life can vouch for how lucky I've gotten with some things. But guys, this is probably the biggest steal that I have ever received on any kind of car part, and it being brand new is even like better. This thing is absolutely gorgeous. Like, I cannot wait to throw this on the car. I mean, guys, like, again, I don't want to just go out and say price because, again, some people have certain situations. The reason why the guy was probably selling it for so cheap. But one place where people don't really check anymore, at least I don't, but back in the past a lot of people did, is WHP Vortex, the forum. Some guy was selling this turbo for more than $1,000 off what it is brand new. And the deal for the other one that was used kind of fell through for certain reasons. Not because I didn't want to like go through with it, but I found this, and then he was having issues with his setup on his car. And apparently he said he found a couple of sus things with the turbo and the setup when he was pulling it off the car, which I'm very appreciative that he was honest with me about what he found when he was pulling everything off. And he's going to go get that checked out from a shop and might have to rebuild the turbo. So I didn't want to deal with that headache at all, and was able to find a brand new XL for more than $1,000 off, shipped brand new. And again, ridiculous. And the fact that I was able to get from CTS such a big discount. By the way, they're actually having a sale right now on the MPI Kit, which I would definitely snag it up because there are good reviews and there are different setups out there, but for the price, this is very hard to beat. And they even hooked it up with a bigger discount for me when I reached out to them and tell them what I do and all that stuff. So they were really nice and generous to be able to hook me up with this. So shout out to CTS, because this is basically the combo that's really going to make the car make the power, plus obviously the low pressure fuel pump as well. But this unit, guys, it's beautiful. Like, I'm obsessed with it. I cannot wait to see what this is going to do. It's absolutely gorgeous. Like, there's nothing wrong with it. The guy didn't even install it. Basically, what he said was that he had a car and he had to get rid of it. And this has been sitting in his garage for a couple of months and he couldn't return it. So he was just trying to get it out of his sight. And we came up with a deal and he accepted it. And here we go. I have it here. And it is literally perfect. And oh my god, guys, cannot wait. So guys, I just needed to sit for a second and just kind of like think things over, because this is huge for me. And I know maybe some of you guys might think that I'm like over exaggerating, like so many people out there are running similar setups, hybrid setups and everything, but I've been modifying cars for how long? Like 11 years, something like that. 10, 11, 12 years I've been modifying cars. I'm 28 now. I've been doing this since I was 17 years old. So yeah, 11, I'm almost 29. I'm going on 12 years modifying cars. And I've never taken a car to this point before. I've done so many different things. Wheels, bags, you know, a lot of tuning stuff, exhaust stuff, minor things. But this is like my first real, like, let me make some power in a car. The first time I'm doing it. So I'm just so excited to just do everything and go through the process, which is why I'm like kind of hyping this up, because I've never done this before. I've never done this before. And if you guys know, like, if you're not looking for deals and not getting deals out there and you're buying everything for retail brand new, this stuff gets very expensive, guys. On my bed right now next to me, I'm just sitting down again, just talking. This is a lot of money to spend. And I'm not trying to say this to like gloat. It's just like anybody who modifies cars, like, you guys know the price of parts, and especially going for a setup like this, it's not easy. So I want to thank all of you guys for watching my video, supporting like things that I've done. The channel has been growing, you know, slowly, but I have a lot of supporters, a lot of like frequent commenters, a lot of people always asking me questions and DMing me stuff, and I'm happy to help every single one of you, because I want everybody to be able to get to this point. If you want to go for a hybrid setup, I want you to be able to do that. And what comes after this, I don't know, because I mean, at this point, after this, it's a built engine. Will I ever get to that point? I don't know. This might be end game for this car. I might run this setup for a year or two and sell it. I don't know, but I'm gonna enjoy the hell out of this car once it's done. And another thing too, I did say I was going to make it back to the track one more time before installing this, but I have a buddy of mine that really wants to help me out, and I really appreciate him. That's going to be helping me with the turbo, so that actually might be going on this weekend. So again, I'm super excited, because I was going to go to the track. Today's Friday. I was actually going to try and go tonight, but I don't think I'm going to be able to make it. And then I'm going to be dropping off my car to him on Saturday to get the turbo done. I don't know if I'm going to be able to work with him and do a video on that, just because, again, like I said in another one of my videos before, I don't have a steady place to work. So I think the turbo job might be a little too big to knock out by myself, since I can't leave my car anywhere overnight. But for sure, 100%, we're going to be doing the low pressure fuel pump install. We're going to be doing the MPI install with the intake manifold myself. I'll be able to knock that out in a couple hours. Sensors I'll be able to do myself, and all I'm waiting now is on my base map, which has already been ordered. I'm not sure who's going to be tuning me from EQT, either Matt or Ed, which both of them are really reputable and really good tuners. One of them is going to be hooking me up with a really good tune, and we're going to be doing 2 maps, 2 fuel types. It's going to be E85, full E85, and we're going to be doing 93 just in case I ever, you know, need to. But mostly this car is going to be on kill mode on E85, and basically the end goal, guys, is going to be 500 plus wheel horsepower and 10-second quarter miles. And right now we're at the beginning of October, so I should be able to make it out at least 2 or 3 times by the end of the year to see how it goes. I'm going to go with my setup now. If I notice I spin too much and I'm not able to get where I want to, I'm going to really quickly order some good tires to finish out the year, and see how low into the 10s I could go. There's some people running mid to like low 10.3, 10.4, which I would hope to really get there. So thank you guys so much for watching. This is like legit dream come true building cars. And again, if you guys have any questions, I'm gonna do a full breakdown of cost of everything once it's all in the car, so we can do, you know, basically what you would be looking to pay for retail if you were to get the same setup. And again, look out there, guys. There are deals to be had. Like I said, I got this brand new turbo for an insane deal. Reach out to some companies. Some companies are really generous. You could be like, hey, like, if you have decent social media following, or even if you do like YouTube on a small channel, like, hey, this is what I do. This is my channel. If you want to check out a couple of videos, I have a decent following. I would love to basically work with you guys and make some videos on your products to kind of push your company. And that's basically what I did with CTS. And they got back to me and they were like, you know what, like, we saw some of your stuff, we like your stuff, and we're glad that you want to like represent our brand. And they gave me a very good discount on the MPI kit. So again, shout out to CTS. I'm very appreciative that you guys gave me the opportunity to run your kit on my car, and I know it's going to be great and it's going to help the car make really good power. And shout out to the guy that sold me the XL. Don't know if you watch YouTube, and if you catch me on here, thank you so much because you gave me a crazy deal. Shout out to EQT because they've hooked me up with stuff in the past as well, and I know the car's going to run great. It's going to have awesome tuning. And shout out to my buddy Arias, who's helped me, you know, install a lot of my mods in the past to get the car to this point. Shout out to my other buddy who's going to be helping me out install the turbo and get this car right. And yeah, guys, so stay tuned. There's going to be a lot of videos coming on this car in the next couple of weeks, so stay tuned. The big mods are here. I know I've been talking about it for a while, but they're here now. And again, hopefully you guys continue to support the channel, continue to watch my videos. Thank you so much. Please like, comment, and subscribe. It lets YouTube know that I'm doing a good job. I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a good day.